Hi, everybody. It's time for our daily political energy reading from the swamp. I always have to catch my breath before I say that. It's kind of a long title, isn't it? Um, we're going with something new today. I forgot I had gotten these cards. It's called the Badass Tarot Deck. Pardon me while I cough my brains out. Anyway, I thought, how appropriate, right? What better deck than to have a badass tarot deck to do political readings, right? So, as usual, this is just a general overview. I'm not reading on any specific person or event. Well, maybe sort of kind of a particular person, and we all know who that would be. Persons. There's actually two of them in there now. Um, the king and his court jester. And I'll let y'all decide which one is which, okay? So here we go. Where are we now? Generally speaking, kind of just a general mood of the country. And the card I pulled was Temperance. Now, I don't know how well you can see that, but that's a nun hitting on a bong. And I looked at that and I thought, I knew a lot of nuns when I went to Catholic school that could definitely have used this. Maybe they would have chilled out just a little bit, right? So, temperance. What does temperance mean? We've been pulling a lot of temperance these past couple of weeks. It seems to be a favored card of spirit. We're looking at balance, we're looking at patience, taking things in moderation. Well, the king and his court jester, of course, don't do anything in moderation. Everything's balls to the wall and to hell with what may happen. So, because of that, that leaves the rest of us struggling, trying to find our balance, trying to get a little peace in our world as everything is getting turned topsy turvy on us, right? Which makes it really hard to bring in that patience that we need. All right, next up, what's the next step? And I drew the Six of Pentacles. Now, Six of Pentacles, that's charity. That's giving things to people uh, worse off than you, whether if it's a handout, a hand up, a meal, a pair of shoes. I mean, the list is unlimited of the things that we can do to help those who are in a position that are unable to help themselves. Now we know on the right they're really good about pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Okay, I don't have an issue with that unless of course you don't have any boots. Therefore there's nothing to pull up on, right? So how do you make people understand that there are things that happen in this world. There are things that can almost be like a bombardment of stuff happening to us that throws people off kilter to where one minute they're doing fine, the next minute they're homeless, or they're living in their car, or they're trying to sleep in a shelter because it's freezing cold at night because they have nowhere to go and no one to help them. These are the people that, for those who are of a more religious bent, especially in the Christian faith, a real Christian, your first response to people like that is, how can I help you? What do you need that would make your life a little easier right now? Do you need a meal? Do you need a pair of shoes? Do you need somewhere warm to sleep tonight? There's so many things that we can do to help our brothers and sisters who are having a hard time. That's part of what Spirit expects from us, is to reach out and to help those in need. So, because of all of the nonsense that's happening, there are a lot of people right now that are getting cut off of their food stamps. They're getting cut off of their Medicaid. There's a good possibility people might start losing their Social Security and Medicare. I mean, by the time the king and his court jester get through screwing with everything, there may not be anything left because they're busy stuffing all the money in their pockets. Um, so I think it's going to be very important and very pivotal for us as just light workers, for those of us who are empaths, for those of us who just care about our fellow brother and sister, to be able to reach out and help. So keep that thought in mind. Then the next step is an obstacle. What are obstacles in our way? And I pulled the Six of Swords for that. And I have to admit, I don't like the fact that the back of that card is a bomb going off. Just what we need. That's Six of Swords. That's trying to move on with our lives. Maybe traveling. Maybe packing it all up and saying, I got to get the hell out of here. It's time for me to go to another country. The only problem is this same crap that's happening to us here in the USA. Okay, sorry about that. I had to hit pause. My brother came home and the dogs went nuts. I managed to catch it before they got loud. Where did we leave off? What were we talking about? Six of Swords, the obstacle. That's where we were. So, with everything that's happening, there's a lot of people wondering, should I just pack up and get the hell out of Dodge, right? I have friends who have done that. And I cannot say that I blame them. You know, they're happier, they're more peaceful right now, even though they're worried about friends and family, us back here still in the States. But they did what they needed to do to bring peace to their family. And I have no problem with that. I encourage that. If going elsewhere is going to help you heal from what's going on in our world today, then do that. Um, if you're like me or a lot of other people who don't have the means to pack up and go, I mean, I don't even own a passport, so I can't go anywhere anyway. I'm kind of stuck. um, it it's really important to try to provide a calming space for friends or family who are really freaked out about all of this. Even for those who did vote for the king and this court jester, they okay, dogs are now put down, hopefully quietly for the night, and I can wrap this up. So, I was saying Six of Swords. It's going to be up to us to provide that calmer, more peaceful atmosphere for friends and family who are currently freaking the hell out. Okay. Even for those who voted for the king and his court jester, they they're going to need help too. And while it's going to be really, really tempting to look them in the face and say, I told you so, what does that accomplish? Not a whole lot. It would be better if we could embrace them with a little bit more love and understanding and let them know next time, be sure of what it is you're voting for. Listen to other opinions. Read up on the facts that come from news sources that's not Fox or OAN or News Channel. I don't know. There's another one out there, News something. I don't watch them. I can't stomach it. 5 minutes and my blood pressure is through the roof. Okay, so what are our strengths and resources? For that, I pulled the Seven of Wands. How fitting is it, huh, that it's Pac-Man playing games, computer stuff. Y'all getting the picture there? So the Seven of Wands, that's, that's standing your ground. That's planting your feet firmly in the ground and saying, no, I'm not budging. You're going to have to move me or go around me, but I'm not giving in. I'm not giving way. And there are times to do that. And then there are times when it's more beneficial to step aside. And that decision is going to be up to each individual. Each person is going to have to decide for themselves what's the better choice to make. Seven of Wands can also be opposition, butting heads with people who totally commit everything from the other side, or who have gone so far down the rabbit hole with the king and his court jester that there may never be a way to get them back out again. I mean, we got to remember, these people have been brainwashed by experts. And trying to deprogram somebody from a cult is probably one of the hardest things that anyone would ever try to accomplish. So keep that in mind, but don't give up on them. Just steadily keep putting facts in front of their face and pray really hard that eventually something sinks in. All right. And then for the last card, which is the potential outcome. What can potentially be our outcome as we deal with all of this? And for that, I pulled the Star. And even though there's a star covering her middle part, I'm going to put my finger over the whole breast so that YouTube doesn't have a conniption fit, because they kind of freak out about that. It's just a boob, for God's sakes. It's not like none of us ever seen a boob before or a nipple that's attached to it. Go figure. Okay, so the Star. That's wishes coming true. Oh, don't I wish. There's a bunch of us that have some really strong wishes that we would like to see come true really fast. That's aspirations into future events, aspiring to do better, to be better, to learn better, to treat our fellow man better. Those are all come under aspirations. And that's probably one of the most hopeful words I can think of. There's that hope again. But you want to hope for the future. That's actually one of the key words with this deck, is hope for the future. And so right now things look really dark and really dire, because they are really dark and really dire. But we have to hang on to that hope that we're going to get through it. We're going to come out the other side. A little battered, a little bruised. Hell, some of us may even be bloody by the time it's over with. But we'll be stronger for it. We will definitely be stronger for it. Unless, of course, we're all wandering around full of nuclear waste and our skin's falling off our bones. Yeah, that's what the king and his court jester did. I don't know if it was yesterday or today. They fired 600 plus specialist workers that worked at the two main nuclear plants in the northwest of the country that are still operational. Yeah, like, we don't need those people, right? Who cares? It's I'm telling you, people, it's the incompetence that's not going to allow them to be successful in what they want to do because they're incompetent. They're incompetent and they're egotistical. They think they know better than everybody else when they don't know jack squat. I normally would have said a different word to go with jack, but I'm trying to behave. So, we got to keep wishing. We got to keep manifesting. When you go to bed at night, before you close your eyes to go to sleep, put a clear picture in your mind of how you want this world to look like when you wake up in the morning. And then when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you thank the universe for allowing that world to come into place, even if it's not here yet. If you believe it, it'll happen. Name it and claim it, the Christians like to say. So that's what I'm telling y'all to do. Name it and claim it. Now, for the bottom of the deck, I got the Page of Pentacles. We seem to be getting a lot of pages in the last week or so. Pages are what? They're usually the messengers. They're the ones bringing the news. Don't attack the pages because they bring you news you don't like. It's just their job. That's what they do. They usually bring us good news. That's what that card stands for, is bringing good news. But good news is going to be far and hard in between one to the other. We'll get there, but it's going to take work. Page of Pentacles also stands for health. It's going to be really, really important, y'all, that we take care of our health. There's a lot of people that are going to be losing their benefits, losing their Medicare, their Medicaid, if they can even get on Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. It's one and the same thing. They'll be lucky. I know my son is currently waiting for the letter telling him he's been dropped from Medicaid, which he got on Medicaid because he suffers from PTSD from his service in 2 deployments. They discovered he had adult ADHD. And of course, now he has heart issues, what looks to be heredity, medical heart issues. Yeah, he loses his health care. I don't know what we're going to do because he can't afford the medication he has to take. It's just not there. Who's got that kind of money? I mean, I have insurance through work. And fortunately, they do cover prescriptions to a certain point. You still have to pay a copay, but that may be anywhere from $1 to $20, depending on what the medication is. You have no coverage at all in that area, and it becomes really, 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 really difficult to afford your medicine. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to die because they can't afford their medicine, or they can't afford to take it the way the doctor has prescribed it to them. They're cutting doses in half or in fourths, try to stretch it out. That's not good either. Another thing the Page of Pentacles stands for is good news in earthly matters. Well, I'm not feeling like he's brought any of that kind of information to us, simply because we don't really have a lot of good news in earthly matters right now, do we? We've got wildfires, we've got massive flooding. Where was the court jester and his king? Off playing golf, of course. That's all the man's done since he took office is play golf and see which group of people he can hurt next. Because that's their goal. That is the goal, people. Cruelty is the point. They do not care if you're hurting. They do not care if your child or your spouse is dying because suddenly they took away their health care and their ability to buy the medications that they need to take daily to keep them living. Because they look on people like that as a waste to society. And what do you do with waste? You flush it down the toilet. Basically, that's what they think of when they think of the people in this country, seniors who need assistance because there's no family to take care of them in their old age and they can no longer live on their own. Majority of Medicaid patients are senior citizens in nursing homes or in hospice homes so that there's someone there to take care of them because they cannot take care of themselves anymore and they don't have family to do it or family that doesn't care to do it or family that maybe can't afford to do it. It just, there's a multitude of reasons why. So that's why I'm saying it's really important to keep up with your health the best that you can. Um, Maybe see if there's a medicine man or a treater in your area, somebody that can help you with folk medicine. Hold on. Okay, let's see if we can wrap this up. I had a little incident with the animals after all. So, altogether, I think what Spirit is trying to tell us is to take a deep breath, do what needs to be done, reach out to others, help when you can. And if you need help, you let people know so that they can help you. It goes both ways. It's not only you getting blessed, but it's them getting blessed because they're helping you. So, yeah, take it one day at a time. One day at a time. That's all we can do. And hang on to that hope. And now I got to go look for my cat who somehow got out and it's freezing cold outside. And she's not an outdoor cat. So, I'm going to wrap this up and y'all have a great weekend. I'll try to do some more this weekend. Um, Sunday's Mastering Mental Wellness with Isaac. And looking forward to that. We're going to talk about narcissistic people. That's a good one. And Monday is Draining the Swamp with Mel Dorr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic. And maybe a couple of guests. We're working on it. So we'll see. We'll see who's available and can come on with us. Um, and that's it, y'all. Have a great weekend. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.